Vaylantz FTK. You heard me say that right. Got it was third place at its regional, which is absolutely amazing. We have more shark decks, and you're just going to want to watch the video. Well, if it isn't the 34, just make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. So this got passed to me the other day, and I was like, what? Vaylantz FTK? Well, it's literally just the standard Blaze Bombardment Phoenix FTK. Now, the reason that this actually, what was it, regional out of France that it got third place, I was like, what in the world is going on here? Well, interestingly enough, because of how bad the format is, less hand traps being played right now, more high impact tier cards, you get to see something like this show up out of nowhere and do its thing. I don't really, you make Gear Gigantics in the deck. Oh no, yeah, there's the Gear Gigantics. So you make the Gear Gigant through the effect of the Magical Calibra, and you do things. It's kind of cute. So we have one copy of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring with one Cyberstein. We have one Droll Knockbird, one copy of the Gizmek Okami, one copy of the Kaikendo Spirit, one copy of Nazuki, then we have one copy of Nibiru, one copy of Scion, we have triple copies of the Shiramone, 2 copies of Skullmeister with 2 copies of the Valyantz Buster Baron, 1 Dominator Duke, and then we have triple copies of Marquise, and 1 copy of Viscount. And then we got 1 copy of Magical Calibra, 1 Call by the Grave, triple copies of Croissant Designator, 1 Sentence Switch, triple Small World, triple copies of Charging Cell, 1 Talent's triple solo activation, 1 The Place of Beginnings, 1 copy of the Wyson, and then 1 copy of the Shinra Basho, and 1 Imperm. Then you got 1 Rapidocus, 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Soldier Chaos, 2 Beyond the Pendulum, 1 Apple, 1 Axis Code, 1 Gear Gigant, 1 Power Tool, 1 Grand Duke, 1 Theseus, 1 Exterio, triple Blaze Bombard. Then we got 1 Shifter, 1 copy of Droll Knockbird, 1 Ghost Ogre, 2 Lava Golem, 1 Viscount, 1 Zeus, 1 Baguski, 1 Boral Sword, 1 IP, triple Dark Ruler, a Lightning Storm, and a Twin Twister here, wrapping up your FTK. Woo! Next up here is some Shark good stuff. This got first out of a 3v3 tournament. Now, it means that it had two teammates to kind of carry it around, but I think it is interesting to see the power that Sharks have had as of late. We've seen this deck kind of show up every blue moon, and it just catches a lot of people off guard. They're just like, what's really going on here with this? Well, it's doing its thing. So we have triple copies of Abyss Shark, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, 2 copies of Barrier Statue of the Torrent. We have triple copies of Buzzsaw, triple copies of the Crystal Shark, triple copies of Dream Shark. We have 1 copy of Gazer Shark. Wow. We have 2 copies of Lantern Shark with 1 Call by the Grave, triple Foolish Brittle Goods with 2 copies of Forbidden Droplet. We got 1 Instafusion with 1 Monster Reborn, 2 Desizes, triple copies of Ready Fusion with 1 copy of the Torpedo Takeover, 1 Upstart Roblin, and then we got 2 Ice Barriers, and triple copies of Infinite Permanence. And we got 1 copy of the Valiant Shark Lancer, 1 Totally Me, we have 1 Shark Fortress with 1 Umbral Horror, we have 1 copy of Silent Honor Dark, 1 Stealth Kraken with 1 Masquerade, we have 1 Nash Knight with 1 Crystal Zero, 1 Zeus, 1 copy of the CXYZ Nash Knight, 1 Bahamut Shark, 1 Abyss Dweller, and 1 copy of the Man-Eating Black Shark, 2 Man-Eating Black Sharks here. And then we have 1 copy of Pankratops, 1 Gamma Seal with triple Big Ball, 1 CXYZ Baryon Hope, 1 Droplet with 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, 2 copies of Twin Twister, and triple copies of Solemn Judgment here, wrapping up your extra deck. And keep in mind, you have 4 basically instant fusions to be able to access out your sub-level 5 monster for you to basically be able to combo up and kind of start doing your thing. It's definitely something a lot more unique, this format, versus a lot of the other things we've really seen. Next up here is Zodiac. I love this deck. So what is so very interesting to me about when we get the chance to see Zodiac show up this format is this is just ignorant control. All right, it's like I don't give 2 craps about what my opponent does. All right, whatever field you put up on the field, Mr. Ignorant Master 5000 is going to clean it up. That's his entire life purpose. All right, any one monster that gets a battle phase here essentially turns into a board clear. You get access to, some other monsters that are going to hold the line for you, but basically what you're looking at is Zodiac's going to attempt to run it on home for you. It is nice to see that this deck has become more of a rogue buster at the moment. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, 2 copies of Worm with triple copies of Magna Hut, and 2 copies of Snoraneer. We got triple copies of Effect Veiler with 2 copies of Fenrir. We have 2 copies of Blue Bellion with 1 Ram, triple Throwblade, and triple copies of Whiptail. Then we have 1 Brand Regained, triple copies of Tenki, triple copies of Forbidden Droplet, triple copies of Lightning Storm, 2 Desices, 1 Branded Beast, and triple copies of Infinite Impermanence. Then in the extra deck, you got 1 DaddyShark with 1 Asa, 2 copies of Tiger Mortar, 1 Hammer Bong, triple Chakanine, triple Borbo, 1 Vespinato, and then triple copies of the Sky Cleanup Man himself. Then we've got triple copies of DD Crow, triple copies of Ghost Ogre, triple copies of Space Rock, triple copies of Cosmic Cyclone, and triple copies of Yield Dimensional Barrier here, wrapping up Zodiac Turbo 5000. And I mean, like I said, it should be no surprise to you to see like the ratios and things you're doing here. Droplets for board breaking, Lightning Storm here for additional cleanup. Post cast year, you're probably going to swap these out for some Dark Rollers to be able to establish and do your thing. Just a little bit of a heads up there, but all looks pretty good so far. No real complaints. All right. Oh. So this was interesting. This popped up out of the Italian Open. And I was like, really, there's like 40 spells. First of all, you die a spell canceller. Nobody's playing spell canceller right now, but that's very, very interesting. So we're not actually taking advantage of actually playing Sky Striker monsters. Linkage actually does everything for us. Basically, you'll be able to basically convert any one of these mill cards into a Sky Striker monster because of linkage. This actually opens up an entirely new door to how to play this deck as a very powerful anti-meta monster. And I am very happy to see that something like this is in fact working here. So we have 1 copy of Call by the Grave, triple copies of Dimensional Fissure with 2 copies of Body Desires. We have triple copies of Runick Destruction, triple copies of Flashing Fire, 2 copies of Runick Fountain. We have triple copies of Freezing Curses, triple copies of the Runick Slumber. We have 1 copy of Smiting Storm, triple copies of Just the Tip. We have 1 Afterburners, 1 Hornet Drones. Triple Shark Cannon is a lot, but I understand. We have triple Widowanky, 1 Multi-Roll, 1 Engage, triple copies of Linkage, and triple copies of the Talents. Down in the next deck, we have 2 Zeeks, 2 copies of Shizuku, 1 Kaina, 2 Kagari with 1 Hayate, 1 Unicorn with 1 Access Code. Interesting. We have 1 Moonin, 2 copies of Hugin, 1 Gary, and 1 copy of Frecky. Then we got triple copies of Spooky Dogwood, triple copies of Lava Golem, triple copies of Twin Twisters, triple copies of Solemn Judgment, and triple copies of There Can Only Be One. Well, I mean, technically there can only be 1 permanently because of you're only going to be using that extra monster zone for as much as you can. But that wraps up the power of a very, very strong rogue competitor. I'm actually very happy to see this. And the last we have here was a winning deck list out of its trophy tournament from Sonny. I don't have a lot to say about this because a lot of these dinosaur combo decks, they look pretty much the same, but this one is taking advantage of Vice's Starfrost. I know a lot of people have seen this before, but it's pretty straightforward here. So we have 1 copy of Animador Archosaur, triple copies of Little Baby Ceratosaurus. We have triple copies of Worm, triple copies of Magna Hut, 1 copy Pinkertops, 1 Giant Rex with 1 Misk. We have 2 copies of Pterodon, 1 Scrap Chimera with 1 Scrap Golem, triple copies of Scraptor, triple copies of Oviraptor, 1 copy of Listogasm, 2 copies of Ultimate Conductor, 2 copies of Vice's Starfrost. We have 2 Dark Hole with 2 Double Evolution Pill, 1 Diagram, triple copies of Droplet, triple copies of Fossil Dig, triple copies of Lost Worldo, 1 Set Rotation, triple Super Poly, and 1 Terraforming. Down in the next deck, we got 1 Sprite Elf, 1 Scrap Wyvern with 1 Lingaribo, 1 Nightmare Phoenix with 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 DeHark with 1 Access Code, 1 Dugaras with 1 Dolka, 1 Abyssaloid, 1 Chengying, 1 Baron, 1 copy of Dracus Blade, 1 Mudman, and 1 Garuda. Then we have 1 Snoraneer, triple DD Crow, 1 Scattershot, 1 Sprint, triple copies of Eclipse, 1 Called by the Grave, 2 Enemy Controller, and triple copies of Twin Twisters here. Wrapping up your chunk of little, actually pretty awesome deck profiles today. So, what do you guys think about everything? Please, leave a comment down below. I do want to say, we are on the back burner here to wrapping up for the next set. There's been a lot of very interesting things out here, and I think that's what's really made this a lot more interesting in my opinion. Alright, I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.